Hello and welcome back to part 2 of event type programming for AMX1. So in this bit we'll be covering how to add your event types and program them to your system. So in the first episode we had a look at how to create an event type. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add it and program it to our system. So if we close the box here and come out of event type management, we're going to want to click on program, and we should be greeted with a list like this. It's probably blank if you've got a new AMX. So there are 3 ways you can do adding an event type. You'll find with AMX there are multiple ways of doing one thing. So the first thing we can do is if you see the columns here that go across, there's one called event type. If you just simply double click on the box here, it will bring up the event type selection, and you can add the event type that you so please from the list here. So I'm going to go click OK, and that is going to add this one into here. So that's the first way of doing it. It's definitely the slowest one since you have to do each one individually. But the next way is slightly quicker. So what you can also do is just, if you drag down, let's say about 30 of those there, and if you right click and if you go to assign event types to input, this will also bring up the box here, fire alarm, and we're going to click OK on that, and that's going to go down here and add all of those in there. And last but not least, there's something that's called the input programming wizard. Its symbol is the little wizard / magician's hat in the bar here next to the node you're on, and what it's the input selection box as well. So what we're going to do is firstly, I'm just going to program this node up with a generic node type. We're just going to give it an advanced panel. We're just going to call this test, and it's going to be node number 4. So that way our node type has actual input types rather than just seeing input type 0, input type 1, and so on. So I'm going to go to the wizard hat here. I'm going to click on this, and it's just going to give you some information on what this allows you to do. So basically it will allow you to add event types, graphics, sort of any programming to any set of nodes or loops or whatever you choose. So we're going to hit next, and you're going to see this box here. So this is going to ask you what inputs you want to program. So you can select all of them, or you can select individual ones like this. And if you pre-highlight a selection first, it's going to come up with here it selected already in here. So you saw, for example, that I selected 2 to 30 last time. I'll show you now. So if I select 31 to 50, and if I go back into my wizard here, you can see that 31 to 50 is selected. You can also choose to do this across 4 loops as well. So if you're doing multiple loops at once, then you can select that. We go to next here, and the first thing we've got here is fire alarm. So you can see event type. We're going to double click on that, and you can add your fire alarm event type in there. So what that is going to do now is that's going to add a fire alarm in for all of these down across here. So we're going to click next, and you can do this for every event type you create. So if you created an event type for security alarm, you would add that in here. But since we're not going to use it, we're going to go ahead and untick it. Pre-alarm, again, if you've got one, add it in. If not, just untick it. And we're going to go through and just go through all of these very quick. And then you'll get to the final page here, which is just going to tell you whilst the wizard is doing its thing and programming for you, it's just going to go offline temporarily, so you won't be able to receive alarms. So make sure if you're doing this, there's no testing or anything like that going on, and it will also let you save it to a file, the config you've just done, but I'll go over that in greater detail in a separate video about the input wizard itself. So when you're happy, if you go ahead and click on finish, It's going to go down and program all of those for you. And if you selected extra loops or different event types, it will go across to those as well. So that's just a quick overview on event types. Thank you for watching.